When we examine how different civilizations approached similar mathematical and astronomical problems, we discover fascinating differences in methodology, emphasis, and expression. These differences weren't merely superficial. They reflected fundamental philosophical distinctions in how these cultures understood the nature of mathematics and its relationship to the physical world. Let's begin by exploring some of these philosophical foundations. The Greek mathematical tradition, exemplified by figures like Euclid and Archimedes, placed a strong emphasis on deductive reasoning and formal proof. For Greek mathematicians, the ideal was to establish mathematical truths through rigorous logical deduction from self-evident axioms. Their approach was primarily geometric, using constructions with straightedge and compass to demonstrate mathematical relationships. In contrast, the Indian mathematical tradition often took a more empirical and practical approach. While logical reasoning was certainly valued, there was less emphasis on formal axiomatic proof and more focus on effective computational methods. Indian mathematicians were particularly adept at developing algebraic techniques and numerical methods that could be applied to solve practical problems in astronomy, commerce, and other fields. Chinese mathematics, as seen in classics like the Jiu Chang Suanshu, 9 chapters on the mathematical art, typically presented mathematics through concrete problems and their solutions. The emphasis was often on algorithmic procedures rather than abstract demonstrations. Chinese mathematicians excelled at developing practical computational techniques for surveying, engineering, and administrative purposes. These philosophical differences weren't simply abstract matters of preference. They had profound implications for how mathematical problems were approached and which kinds of solutions were valued. Let's explore these implications through some specific examples. Consider approaches to calculating pi, the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. This fundamental constant has fascinated mathematicians across cultures, and different traditions developed distinct methods for approximating its value. In the Greek tradition, Archimedes used a geometric approach. He inscribed and circumscribed regular polygons around a circle, calculating their perimeters to establish upper and lower bounds for the circle's circumference. By using polygons with more and more sides, he narrowed these bounds, eventually showing that pi was between 3.1408 and 3.1429. This method exemplifies the Greek preference for geometric demonstration and establishing bounds rather than calculating a single approximate value. The Indian approach to pi took a different path. Aryabhatta, writing around 499 CE, gave the approximation 3.1416, remarkably accurate for its time. Later Indian mathematicians developed even more sophisticated approaches. Madhava of Sangama Grama, in the 14th century, derived infinite series expansions that could be used to calculate pi to any desired level of precision. His approach, which anticipated aspects of calculus by several centuries, reflected the Indian comfort with infinity and with computational methods. Chinese mathematicians also developed their own approaches to pi. Liu Hui, in the 3rd century CE, used a method similar to Archimedes, but expressed it differently, focusing on calculating the areas of inscribed polygons rather than their perimeters. By the 5th century, Chinese mathematicians had calculated pi to 7 decimal places. These different approaches to the same mathematical constant reveal how philosophical differences shaped mathematical practice. The Greek emphasis on geometric demonstration, the Indian focus on computational methods and series expansions, and the Chinese attention to algorithmic procedures all led to valuable insights, but along different mathematical paths. Let's consider another example: approaches to solving quadratic equations, which appear in all major mathematical traditions. These are equations involving an unknown value squared, such as x squared plus 6x equals 16. In the Babylonian tradition, which notably influenced Greek mathematics, solutions to quadratic equations were typically presented as step-by-step procedures without algebraic notation. The focus was on the algorithm rather than the symbolic representation. The Indian algebraic approach, developed by mathematicians like Brahmagupta in the 7th century CE, presented general formulas for solving different types of quadratic equations. Indian mathematicians were comfortable working with negative numbers and zero, which allowed them to develop more comprehensive solutions. Bhaskara II, in the 12th century, provided the standard quadratic formula we use today, along with geometric demonstrations of why it works. Chinese mathematicians developed their own approach to quadratic and higher-order equations. By the 13th century, mathematicians like Qin Jiashao were using a method similar to what we now call Horner's method to solve polynomial equations numerically. This approach reflected the Chinese preference for computational algorithms over abstract formulas. Islamic mathematicians like al-Khwarizmi, 9th century, developed systematic approaches to solving quadratic equations, classifying them into different types and providing methods for each type. Their work, which synthesized elements from both Greek and Indian traditions, eventually transmitted algebraic methods to medieval Europe. What's fascinating about these parallel developments is not just that different cultures found ways to solve similar mathematical problems, but that their different approaches reflected distinct conceptual frameworks and values. The Indian comfort with abstract calculation, the Greek preference for geometric demonstration, the Chinese focus on algorithmic procedures, and the Islamic emphasis on systematic classification all shaped how these mathematical problems were understood and solved. The notation systems used in different traditions also played a crucial role in shaping mathematical thought. The Indian decimal place value system, which eventually spread worldwide, offered significant advantages for calculation compared to systems like Greek alphabetic numerals or Roman numerals. This notational advantage facilitated the development of efficient computational methods in traditions that adopted it. Similarly, the development of algebraic notation, symbols for unknown quantities and operations, influenced what kinds of problems could be easily addressed. The Indian algebraic tradition developed symbolic shorthand that allowed for more efficient expression of mathematical relationships, while Greek mathematics often expressed algebraic relationships in geometric terms. Religious and cultural contexts also shaped mathematical development in important ways. In India, religious cosmology often involved enormous time scales and large numbers, which may have contributed to Indian mathematicians' comfort with very large values and infinity. Greek philosophical emphasis on idealized forms aligned well with their geometric approach to mathematics. In China, the practical needs of an administrative state influenced the types of mathematical problems considered important. These examples illustrate an important point. Mathematical truth may be universal, but mathematical practice is culturally embedded. Different philosophical foundations, notational systems, and cultural contexts led mathematicians in various traditions to explore different aspects of mathematical reality and to express their insights in distinctive ways. As we examine these parallel developments, it's important to avoid simplistic judgments about which approach was better or more advanced. Each tradition had its strengths and limitations. The Indian comfort with abstract calculation facilitated algebraic and series developments. The Greek emphasis on rigorous proof established important standards of mathematical demonstration. The Chinese focus on algorithms led to efficient computational techniques. Moreover, these traditions weren't static or isolated. Over time, they influenced each other through various routes of transmission, creating a complex tapestry of mathematical development across Eurasia. Ideas traveled along trade routes, through translated texts, and via scholarly exchanges. Yet, even when mathematical concepts moved between cultures, they were typically transformed and adapted to fit the receiving tradition's conceptual framework. In our next section, we'll explore how these philosophical and methodological differences played out in astronomical modeling, where different civilizations developed various approaches to understanding and predicting celestial movements. We'll see how the practical need for accurate calendars and predictions led to sophisticated mathematical techniques across cultures, yet with distinctive features that reflected each tradition's unique perspective on the cosmos.